Hello, welcome to Follow Everton. I'm Basil and I'm here today with Park and Goodison. Mabsy,
All
how are you
right.
doing?
Um, it Another day in the life of being the blue, isn't it? Really, just never seems to stop, and always seems to the back end of the transfer window.
Action packed, it never ends. Everywhere I turn in the media now, it's something Everton. You can't keep up with it on top of everything that's going on. But I mean, it's plenty for us to get our teeth into. I know
Yeah,
we're going to be joined by Jeff and possibly Dan, but and keep the comments coming in, guys. I see a few of you already put in comments. Good evening. But we'll start talking initially about Dyche because there's been reports that it seems to be our manager is going to be Sean Dyche. I mean, Mabsy, do you have any feelings on this? I'm sure you've about it
I
in the
was
past.
I have a few feelings on it. Not the guy I wanted. I mean, not that I wanted Bielsa, if that makes sense. I think out of what we can got to be realistic of who we can get. I think he's a good manager. Whether it's going to be enough, the football's going to be dreadful, by the way, just to make that very
Yeah,
clear.
yeah.
Regardless, it's not going to be good football. Even
But it would
shit
be
foot.
difficult to play good football with this team anyway.
Oh no, of course. But as I said, I think we've got to get our expectations. If we stay up, then we just got to be thankful and just. But I don't know if I mean, you know what? It feels like deja vu. I feel like I've said this about Lampard, to be honest with you. And
Mm,
I actually did say it about Lampard, and I'll say it again. Um, I think it's kind of the how do I put it? I think if we get Dyche, basically we're basically preparing ourselves for the championship. And
but
he's
you
proven in
could
the
argue that
championship.
you could argue it's the same with Bielsa. They've both been in the championship. Let's bring in Jeff and Dan. We've just been briefly talking. Don't know if you've heard a little
Okay.
bit about Sean Dyche. I've not heard you guys what your opinions are
All
between
right,
Dyche
Kev.
and Bielsa, but I mean, it looks like it's going to be Dyche anyway, even if we did want Bielsa.
I'll come in first then.
You go first, Dan.
It was just wait and see who we get out of the two. I think we all knew it was going to be Bielsa or Dyche, and I would have been happy with Dyche if Bielsa didn't get mentioned. But then I knew if we would have got Bielsa, we probably would have gone down. And it was me just thinking something could happen that probably couldn't. And I just sometimes I like a risk, but the sensible option was Dyche, and now it's happened. I'm really, really happy with it, and I'm actually getting more happier with it. The more I'm reading, the more I'm seeing, and it's. We'll go on to this. It's worked out absolutely amazing that we managed to sell a player for the price we have to give Dyche a bit of help as well. So I think we've got the right manager. I was watching Basil him talk about tactics when he beat Liverpool and stuff with his little counters on the table and say he's cleverer than what you think. He is a cleverer manager than what you think, and I think we'll see that. He knows what he's doing.
I think he's got a bit more to him, but he's not quite Bielsa, who's been dubbed as a tactical genius and someone who will sort of ravage his way through the runnings of the club and strip it bare. Sean Dyche is probably more what we need in this moment. I think it would be hard to argue Bielsa is more of a fit than Sean Dyche at this particular short-term moment.
Well,
Jeff,
Bielsa
what are your
didn't really want to
thoughts?
come in until the summer, did he? Which is really weird.
I kind of think I kind of think it's the. Sorry, I was going to say I kind of think it's the other way around. I think where we are exactly now, Bielsa is a much worse fit than like if we'd have brought him in
That's what I'm saying.
after the two Bournemouth games. Yeah, Bielsa would have been like he'd have had weeks to work and a transfer window and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, he could have got it working, and that would have been good. But yeah, as it is now, Dyche feels like day one Moyes. like when it feels like we're starting again. Like we've literally gone through 7 years of chaos, disorganization, signing the wrong players, like clueless ownership, a dozen experiments. Nobody knows what they're doing. No identity with the club, and maybe Sean Dyche is not the most appealing. Because his name is Sean Dyche, maybe people will say, "Well, yeah, he got relegated with
Burnley
Burnley, but
twice.
he kept him in. He kept him in the Premier League with
Once.
a tiny budget.
One and a half.
No,
One and a half.
yeah. Well, he kept,
Jeff,
put it this way: on a tiny budget with like. Hang on, let me just make my point first before you.
All I'm saying is answer someone's question. He hasn't been confirmed yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. But we've got to work on the assumption that. We'll work on the assumption that he will be the choice.
The reports were that Bielsa came in as first choice talks, and that he was demanding £11 million a month, and it talks sort of broken down and moved towards Dyche for now, and that's where everyone's expecting.
So let me just make the point. So let me just make the point I was making initially, which is that he basically made Burnley competitive in the Premier League on a tiny budget, like probably like a third of what we're spending. And they played us off the park. I remember watching them, and they played us off the park. They were tactically better. They were better organised. They worked harder. So he clearly knows what he's doing to some degree. So you could argue whether there was better options out there. There are people that maybe I would have liked to have seen that we didn't even talk about. The conversation never even happened. So would he have been my first choice? No. But is he the worst option? No. I think Bielsa, for all the appeal of it, I think he would have broken half the team and probably got us relegated. And his defense, they conceded 6 and 7 goals, on numerous occasions, and he broke half his squad because working at that level, they were really good for about 2-3 months, and then they were literally just ravaged by injuries. So, it's a more pragmatic approach. And staying in the league, if that's all that matters, staying in the league all that matters, then it's a sensible option. That's. So,
but do you look at
that's my thought on the matter.
As an Everton ownership and board issue, where should we be looking? Because we're going with this sporting director model where, if in effect the sporting director should be choosing the way I feel like we are trying to do it, but are we actually doing it in the managers we are recruiting? Because the manager should be there to implement our style of football, not be targeting different managers from different styles and hoping they.
That's a kind of separate thing. I was literally just talking on Dyche for just as a isolated thing.
On what you just said there,
for this moment kind of thing, but long term, there's many questions beyond that. But just in terms of just the Dyche thing, if he's coming along, do I think he's a good choice? Yeah, I think he probably, if we're going to stay up, we need a pragmatic, sensible approach. We need to keep clean sheets. We need to go back to basics and just pick up points. And I think that, it's a short-term approach, but staying in the league is really important. So I think on that basis, he is a good candidate.
Dan, do you want to come in?
I was just going to come in, and I was just going to say, on what you said, Basil, and like you said, do you think Farewell's had a say on him? Basically, I think Farewell has picked him. I think we all know that if we got Bielsa, it was a Mashiri choice, and I think if we got Sean Dyche, it was a Farewell choice. I do think it was his choice. It's not 100%, but that's just my opinion. I do think Farewell has had a say in this, and I listened earlier on to someone say that Farewell and Dyche are friends, and they've worked together. They know each other, and they've worked together before. Well, not worked together in the thing, but they know each other pretty well. So I think it's good that we've got a partnership there, because that's been the big problem, hasn't it? Brands had no partnership with the manager, and I think it's important that we bring a manager in that has got a partnership with Farewell, and it doesn't mess your club up so much. So you've got to think on what you've just said, though, Basil. We need to. We're not bringing a manager in. We can't overlook the situation that we're in. We have to bring a manager in that's going to deal with the situation we're in, and not many managers out there look like they're going to be good in this situation or even want to come into this situation. So I think Sean Dyche, the fact he wants to come in now from the sources I heard earlier on, Sean Dyche has gone in and said, "You are in a relegation battle. I am going to do this, and these are the players I'm going to bring in to help you." And he's gone and told Mashiri exactly how, and the board, whoever, exactly how to get out of this relegation battle. And it sounds good. So if Sean Dyche thinks he knows how to get us out of this shit, I'm behind him 110%. And I think just let him do it. If he does, it's amazing. What?
Chris Wood is
signed for Chris Wood signed for
Bournemouth, isn't it?
Nottingham
He's
Forest.
on
He signed for them a couple of weeks ago.
He's on a sort of, I think he's on a loan with an obligation to purchase if they stay up or something like that. No, I fully get what you're saying, Dan, and I do agree. And I think
going back to what you were saying before about like the board.
Suitable.
Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I do feel like Dyche is more suitable.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying before about the board
that we currently have.
Yeah.
Go on, Jeff.
But going back to your board question before, like, it's clear, I've tweeted a lot about this. It's like, Mashiri did an interview and he said, "I don't have any say in these decisions." And then immediately, like, kiboshed the whole situation by obviously going for a manager that, like, Thelwell wouldn't have been interested in. He clearly wouldn't have been interested in, because, like, he knows the chaos that guy brings. Clearly an unsuitable candidate as well for the situation that we're in. If you're trying to stay up, be like a nice excitement. And even he himself, like, to give credit to Bielsa, he didn't really want to come in until the summer. And he was happy to come in even if we were in the lower division and rebuild us up. And that would have been fine. But the fact that Red Five is arguing the toss over Bielsa, that's down to the manager, to the owner. So this idea that he doesn't interfere and he doesn't have a say and he just signs the checks, we can put that to bed, because we all know he's full of it. He's absolutely full of it, and he's going to continue interfering as long as he's here. And we like there's nothing we can do about that. There's genuinely nothing we can do about it, whether we want to or not. We can protest and march and play.
I've seen this one here. Sean Dyche wants this player, Victor Thingy, and I like him. And I think if Sean Dyche brings him in, I'll be happy with him. The lad from Coventry that we've been linked with before, and he is Sean Dyche's sort of player. And I think a striker like him, yeah, it would be cracking. I know they said he wasn't going to leave, but I think with the money we've just got for Gordon, which we're going to talk about, is going to help us in that situation. I can't wait to see what players we're going to get. Just on that topic, to keep it interesting, like, keep it short, but we'll hit everyone now. We'll start in with you, Basil. Are you happy with Dyche? Keep it short, interesting here. Are you happy with Dyche? Yes or no? And just quick one, why or why not?
Well, it's hard to sum up, but I would say yes. And it was my gut instinct a few weeks ago that it had to be Dyche. The only caveat I would say is that Bielsa would, I feel, have got us playing better attackingly, and that is what this squad is completely lacking. And Dyche will work to our strengths, which is sitting back and going forward. But we've not proven that we can actually pick up results doing that under Lampard, apart from the 1-1 at City. So how are we going to change things massively under that style? I do think it's the safer option, though.
Yeah, so you are yes, but you're unsure. I did watch Dyche, and I think he does press high to make teams he presses to attack, if you know what I mean. Parkend, you come in now, keep it thingy.
I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, fine. We've got him. We must get behind him. Obviously, the two candidates were uninspiring for me. So is he going to get a tune where Lampard couldn't at these shithouse plays? Because let's face it, they're the same plays. Because we haven't got, or we've got well, let's face it, the deal for what they call it isn't done yet. For Gordon, it's not done, so we haven't got the money, right? Okay, we've got probably so we're on the 27th. It closes on Tuesday night. So we've got less than 3 days for get Dyche out the line, get Gordon done, and then spend the money. So clubs know we're cash. Well, not cash rich. We've got a few quid in the pockets. We want to spend it. They're gonna have their pants down. So again, it's just this whole Everton thing is we've had 27 days of procrastination, right? Yeah. And then now we panic as usual every single year. And that's just not just the January transfer. That's the summer transfer window as well. Why do we do it to ourselves? We want to get
surely, Mabsy,
in the window.
Mabsy, is some of that not down to sacking Lampard at a moment where I personally felt like it was the wrong time?
Not forgetting that Lampard was there for 24 days. So
yeah, I completely agree with you, but we were just on the verge of making a quite an important signing in Danjuma, and then you throw out Lampard and everything's gone to shit since then.
Yeah, but David, it still took 24 days to get that even remotely near conclusion.
I know. So do you think they're going to get any players in 3 days?
No, that's
based on that evidence.
I don't think we're going to get any note in.
No.
And this is the worrying thing, regardless of Dyche or Bielsa or whoever comes in, how are they going to get a tune out of those gang of gobshites?
Especially when you've lost Gordon. You one down.
Gordon, right? We've lost a few the academy players. And Yango, good luck to have gone to Forest Green. I just don't see why we're loaning out players in the situation that we're in. We need all the players that we can have.
You'd like to think, though, Mabsy, to you this is, you'd like to think that we've been negotiating with players this window, and the negotiations are there, and we've just been waiting to put the money down. And if we've been saying to someone we're going to do 10 million and they've been saying yes, or it's about done, just because we sell Gordon, they're not going to knock it up to 20 million, because you say, well, you can't knock it up just because we brought a player.
You're thinking, Dan, Everton are that prepared.
Yeah, I know. It's not 100%.
You're kind of thinking that they thought they've done that. Really? Do you think Everton have done that? Really?
I've just read that we're going to sign 3 to 4. Dyche is going to sign 3 to 4 players.
Bullshit. Sorry, I don't believe it.
Nobody be does. Are you happy? He might do.
It depends who he signs, Dan.
Mbappe, Messi.
Yeah,
I'll take Mbappe.
Them, you know what I mean? But yeah, it depends who we sign. I know I'm cynical. I think what it is, I said out in the space, I'm just tired. I'm tired of being in the same position every single year, talking about the bottom half of the table. I'm sick of it. Sorry, I'm jaded. I think.
I know you'll be back. Your boost will be back as soon as Dyche wins.
Yep, Jeff.
My answer to the question, Dan. Happy isn't necessarily the word I would use, but I just think it's a sensible appointment. Like when you bottom of the league and you've got a team of like disorganized and whatever, you need someone to cut. You can't bring in some project manager with a long-term vision. What you need is someone who can come in and get these players to be organized and settled and as consistent as possible. Now, he's worked with some of the players before, so we'll know quite a few of them. You know, obviously he's worked in the Premier League a lot as well. So, you know, he's not like some newbie off the block. Like the idea of signing, like people were all for that David Ancelotti yesterday. It was like, what are you smoking? So it's a sensible appointment. And if we play in a less stupid way, because to be honest, like I don't know what the hell Frank Lampard was doing. I literally don't know what he was trying to do. Play through the lines, really? Like what was he? What was his plan to win games? Because I don't know. If anyone could tell me, put it on a postcard and send it to. I don't give a fuck, because he didn't know what he was doing. So if we come in and we play 4-4-2, get the ball out wide, try and put some crosses in, play in the correct position, that they know what they're doing, and bring in 2 or 3 additions who can add a little bit to that, then we might be able to stay up. And I don't have ambition beyond that, because like that's literally it. That's all that matters. 18 games, get enough points to stay in the league, and then we can reassess it all. And the board, they're a bunch of idiots. Whatever, we can have all of that debate as a separate issue. But in terms of just Everton Football Club winning games, getting points, like not throwing away points as well, because that's the other thing is, like we could have easily just got a draw against Wolves and got a draw against West Ham maybe, or whatever, and you'd have 3 or 4 more points, and you'd be in like 15th and 16th, and you'd think, well, we're still in the mix, kind of. So we threw away points with really appalling tactics, with really appalling styles of play. We're trying to do something we're not capable of doing. He's not going to do that. He's going to come in and he's going to get the players to do what he knows they can do, play within the limitations of their ability, and just be more basic. And that's our best hope of surviving in the league. That's the simple answer to the question, is that he's our best hope of surviving. So on that note, yeah, I am as happy as can be expected, I suppose, yeah. But I'm not expecting great football or none of that stuff. So yeah.
I already touched on it with Jeff myself, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but I'm buzzing with it. And one of the comments I've just seen, I will try and drop them on. How do you think he's going to play attacking football? I thought the same. I thought he's really defensive, but then when I went and watched his tactical analysis and stuff like that, he presses teams on where they don't want to be pressed, and he looks what teams are not going to want and frustrates them, and tries to stop them in certain ways. So if they try and pass out from the back, he'll push you up in a 4-4-2 to stop them from passing out from the back, and they can make the mistake and we can pounce on it. It's I'm not being funny. 4-4-2, you know you're going to get 2 strikers. You've got 2 strikers. We've been crying out for 2 strikers all season, all season. Well, we're going to, Mabsy, I think we'll sign one, you know. I really do. And even if he plays Calvert-Lewin and Mopé up front, and he gets Mopé playing better, because I'm not being funny, Sean Dyche has made some strikers play really well. Look how good Danny Ings has done it through Sean Dyche. He has done well with his strikers. Sean, he's going to get 100% out of his players. And you know, like Mabsy as well, he's a character. Sean Dyche is, that some of these players ain't going to take the piss out of. He just isn't this kind of bloke that some of these lads have got big egos are going to be able to take the piss out of, because Sean Dyche is that person that will make you feel stupid if you try. He's got that presence in a room where he'll be the boss when he walks in the room, because he knows how to handle people.
Have we got enough time to say?
But to get the, yeah, I do think we have, Mabsy. If you look at what Sean Dyche did in his good period. He beat the fucking Liverpool when he was on that unbeaten run, and they was playing at the best, and he beat them with Burnley. By the way, Burnley not a good team, and I know we're not that good, but we've got some players that Sean Dyche, I reckon, will get kicking. And Mabsy, I honestly think, I could be wrong. Shoot me down. You come at me if I'm wrong, but I think we'll bring in 2-3 players. I do.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I just think I am at the stage where I'm just too cynical.
When he wins, Mabsy, I know you're going to be jumping around with me. When Sean Dyche wins his first game,
It's easy.
you just need the boost. You just need the boost.
It's easy to be cynical. No, it's easy to be cynical because, like we haven't seen this shit before. That's the whole point. Is we need to see some proof. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to take anything on faith anymore. I'm not going to take it like, it's all going to be rosy in the garden. Like, if we don't have 3 or 4 players in by Tuesday night,
We'll be worried a little bit more,
We'll be worried because we need them. So, yeah, like the proof of the pudding's in the eating. I want to see how we play under Dyche. But if he can get us playing in an organised manner, stop giving away silly goals, if he wants to play long ball, whatever. But if he can get this team performing, I still think we're a poor football side. But are we as poor as we've been showing in the last 6 months? I don't think we are. I think we're Anana's a good player. There are some good players at the club. And if they were coached better and managed better and we played in a more way, we should have more points than we have got based on what we've got in the squad. Like, they're better than this. They're not great, but they're better than this.
Sean Dyche made Sean Dyche made us think that Michael Keane was like Rio Ferdinand. Sean Dyche made us think that Michael Keane was Rio Ferdinand, and we went and brought him for that much. If he can make Michael Keane look good, hopefully he can get a tune out of freaking everyone else. I'm going to drop another question on as well because there's 4 on it. So it's hard for us all to talk, but I'll hit you again, Basil, first. The rumours are obviously Anthony Gordon wanted to leave. This source is they're normally right anyway. So Anthony Gordon wanted to leave. He said he wanted to leave to the club. He's hit us off guard, but our club apparently have dealt with it really well, gone to London and negotiated the deal. It should come out. This is what's been said, done, so it should be coming out soon. Anthony, we've seen it, the links in the news that it's going to happen. Anthony Gordon, 40 million cash with add-ons if he does well, this, that, and the other. We actually get to spend the 40 million, which is cracking news because we're all shitting ourselves thinking we've got nothing to spend. And now Gordon being sold for the first time, I think this is good business by Everton. Yeah,
I think
business by Everton. Basil, I'm going to put it on you.
FFP as well because I saw an article before.
It's coming to you, Jeff. I'll put it on Basil first. It's coming to Basil. Go for it. What do you think on it?
Yeah,
I think he's going to say that because Gordon's an academy graduate, that the FFP is sort of written off, so we can spend that money, which is the real advantage of selling one of our graduates. I mean, he's put us in this position, hasn't he? We've got no choice in the matter. It's a shame because we got nothing out of him for 6 months and we've lost £20 million. But still, for £40 million, you can't complain if we can sign some players.
£20 million?
Yeah,
Chelsea bid for
60. When did we lose 20 million? Nobody.
No, he's saying we could have got more from last window.
If he had a few good games in the next 6 months, Chelsea could come back in the window for another 60 mil, you see. So we got to take that chance that we need the money now and we need to spend it now. So it seems good business. I mean, the problem is he's been hounded over the car and he's got upset, and then now he's on
I don't think
right paddy.
I really don't.
I think he's taken it far too.
He wanted out before that.
Yeah, exactly. His performances weren't there.
He's got no right not to tip up at training, has he? If he's not come to training, you've got to say, look.
As soon as the transfer window closed. as soon as the transfer window closed in at the end of August, and he hadn't got his move that he wanted, so he's out the Prem, and he's been absolutely crap ever since. He hasn't put an effort in. He hasn't done anything. His attitude has stunk the gaff out, and he's acted like he's bloody like
a petulant child.
Now Messi, he's literally scored like 4 or 5 deflected goals, one off his fucking dick that just hit him, and he's created about 3-4 goals, and he's supposed to be our best academy player. That's pathetic. It's not even close to being a good thing. So cash. I saw the Esk tweet before. This will be the first time because of this. Because even if the way it works is we get the money in, and even if we transfer the amortization thing, that whatever fees we spend, that goes over the contract. So basically, based on this one deal, this is the first year since 2016 that Everton will actually post a profit.
Wasn't it? I think this week wasn't it?
First time in 6 years.
That and the Moise Keane deal will make it as a profit.
Yeah, because Moise Keane's sale will come in the summer. So between them, it's like 65 mil, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we don't spend, but it's all spread across the contracts anyway, as we saw with Chelsea spreading their contracts over 8 years, which was quite clever, to be fair. And we should be thinking out the box. And
but that makes us now basically the next 3 years. Yeah, over the next 3 years, we can now lose 105 million again, if that's But like over the next 3 years, because we've got ourselves the right side of everything, the next 3 years we're back in the kind of good books situation. So
is it too late, though, Jeff?
Well, we'll soon find out.
Yeah,
we'll
so
find
do we
out
need to?
12, we'll find
do
out
we
in
need
about
to
4
replace him?
months.
Is he on your wish list as top 1, top 2?
Do we need to replace him? He wasn't doing anything anyway. So
but we already needed a winger, didn't we?
We need to replace
Richarlison.
There's a real lack of pace. Richarlison.
You take Gordon out that team, you've literally got Damari Gray as your only bit of pace on any sort of counter-attack system. We need something.
Yeah, so we've got 3 days to do some really, really good
well,
business.
Exactly. It's not going to happen. It's really not the way that we do business. Not going to happen.
Dan, do you want to see a proposed Sean Dyche lineup? It's a mock-up.
I just heard my Chinese knock on the door. Just want to say that.
Mr. Positivity.
No. Sorry, I was just listening to the Chinese I've got my Chinese getting dished out right now. But no, I'm buzzing. Honestly, we're gonna get the players. Of course, we're gonna get the players. We're just gonna get 2-3 players anyway. Now we've got a 40 million kitty to spend. We're already lining up players. It's just Sean Dyche has already come in. He said, "I want these players," and they're gonna get him those players. And if they can't get them, they'll get someone else. There's players out there lined up. Farewell would have a list. He's already been working on a lot of players. Sean Dyche will come in and say, Farewell will show him the list, and Sean Dyche will say, I like that. Can you take that off the list? I'm not interested in that. And then they'll send Farewell away, and they'll say, get this and that. And then Farewell will come back with another list. And
all in 3 days.
Well,
all in 3 days, Dan.
It can happen in 1 day, can't it? Let's face it. We've just been waiting because we've got no money.
Well, it depends on other clubs and how quick they reply to your
offer. 2 deals could happen in 1. 2 deals could be happening tomorrow. We could get the manager announcement, and we could be bringing in 2 players tomorrow.
It took them 8 hours to confirm he'd been sacked. Lampard had been sacked.
It just feels like we're in for a bang, though, doesn't it? Not like action, but it feels like we are in for a bang. Like you said, Mabsy, the days are short, and I'm a bit nervous about it because we should have. I've said all along we should have sacked the manager ages ago, but it's done now. The situation is the situation.
We all transfer deadline day again.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big deadline day. I think tomorrow's stuff's going to go on.
For leaving things right till the last minute with everything.
Well, we're going to be literally coming on the channel all the time. Basil doing a player announcement. There's going to be an announcement tomorrow on a player. Announcement the next day. Announcement the next day. Every day.
Just in case we don't, I prepared my Sean Dyche 11 from the current playing squad to see how angry you guys get.
Depressing.com.
This is my Sean Dyche's 4-4-1-1 formation, which is solid 2 banks of 4, and it won't be in behind Calvert-Lewin, with McNeil and Townsend offering the width and crossing.
When's Jamie Gardner coming back?
Is that in the middle?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better than that, Baz. I think you're just thinking a bit negative because we've got James Garner coming back.
Yeah, but this is like if we had to play next week. This is what we have. Oh, God.
Hello, who's this? Bill Kenwright. All right, Bill.
Hello, gents. It's Bill.
Oh, my God.
Are you busy, Bill?
Well, I'm very busy scratching my toenails and picking my fingernails. But apart from that, there's not an awful lot happening. I've got Dyche here with me if you want to speak to Dyche.
Are you getting any signings in, Bill? Are you doing any business?
We got Ben Mee coming in on loan. Brilliant player, squad player.
That's it.
We've already got 6 centre backs.
Are you going to join us on transfer deadline day, Bill?
Would you like to speak to Dyche, my new latest protege?
Right,
Dyche, come here, Dyche. Come on.
Yeah, please, mate.
Hello, lads. It's Sean Dyche.
All right, Sean.
Absolutely delighted to be at this great club. When Bill Kenwright offered me 2 front row tickets to Blood Brothers and a packet of Quavers, I couldn't say no.
How many plays are you getting in, Sean?
Oh, we're getting lots of players.
Lots? How many?
Somewhere in the region of 1.5 players and 2.5 players, but probably not more than 4.5 players.
Right. Is it worth doing transfer?
Hang on, Bill. Bill, I'm just doing my media work. We're just doing my media work. Sorry, love. Go on.
Is he gone? Are you still there, Sean?
He's put
I'm just on the phone to Ben Mee.
Okay. Is it worth doing a Tuesday deadline day for Everton?
Hang on a second here. I've got a call from Josh Browning, Maxwell Cornet.
He does sound more like Zippy. He does sound like Zippy.
He's not that good at Dyche.
Sorry, Maxwell. Maxwell, I know you're at West Ham.
It does sound more like a really angry version of Zippy.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche, is it true that you were eating nails and bricks for breakfast?
Absolutely not. I eat Copite tears for breakfast, even though I wasn't red growing up.
Are we going to rename Sean? Are we going to have to rename the Williams line to Sean Dyche like we did at Burnley?
It's not for my concern. My concern is making sure Everton get relegated this season and do it in good style. What to expect from me? They've given me a £3.50 budget. I can't even buy 3 Freddos with that.
Where's the Gordon money, Sean?
Oh, the Gordon money. Bill Kenwright's got a tub at home labelled Arteta money, and he's just going to top it up.
So 40 million that's not going to be spent, basically, is what you're saying, Sean.
Well, I'll just be honest with you now. It's not 40 million. It's 40 million Ugandan dollars. It's probably worth about 695.
Oh, no.
Sean Dyche, you know who got Denise in a headlock?
Oh, hang on a second. I've got Mark Vidra on the phone, ex-Burnley striker. Hiya, Mark. You signing? You want 250 grand a week? No chance.
So are we just going to be basically Burnley Mark II? Like Moyes did like Sunderland? Sure.
Depends who you ask. We're only bringing in 7 ex-Burnley players. Ashley Barnes will be coming in on a free. He'll bring in 1 or 2 goals this season.
But we've got Tarks and Keane already, haven't we? So what was your relationship like with Tarkowski?
I've got Jay Rodriguez and Chris Wood also coming in.
hasn't Wood gone to Forest?
Forest.
No, I intercepted that. I sent the MI5 around to intercept the contract.
Oh, fuck, we're screwed, aren't we?
We're going to be good this season. I think we'll finish in the top 20, probably somewhere between 18th and 20. Matt Lowton's coming in. He'll add a bit of quality. And, yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be taking this Everton job.
What's the target as Mashiri set for you, Sean?
Mashiri's asked for a very ambitious target of 19th place this season, progressing up to 18th place in the Championship next season, and hopefully we can win League Two in 3 to 4 years.
Happy days.
Right. Have you got any more questions before I pass you back on to Bill?
No, we'll speak to Mr. Kent Mike again. Oh no, what is going on? Bill, are you there? Bill.
Hello, lads. It's Bill.
So, what
Bill Kent here, you know.
Bill,
Well, hello.
What dealings has Yusuf got in Everton?
Oh, he owns the club, but, you know, it's all under cloak and dagger. One of my great costumes. He's actually wearing a face mask, Usmanov, and it's actually Mashiri and Usmanov.
Okay. So, are we getting sold, Bill?
Ryan's like, I had my tactics up, and Mr. Chairman's come and taken over my tactics session.
Yeah. Are we going to get sold, Bill, eventually, or are we just doing a fire sale of all our players?
Absolutely not. But we've had good times. We'll have better times. We'll have better times.
What were the good times, Bill?
Sorry, I'm going to have to go. Denise Barrett Baxendale's here.
Are you out in the headlock? Are we getting Denise on? Or...
Hello.
Do a
Hello,
really good
boys.
Denise
We
Barrett
get my
back
Chinese
there. I'll be
too,
so
so-
impressed.
Hello, boys. Neil.
Denise?
Hello.
Who put
Sorry,
you
I'm currently in a headlock at home.
Can you tell us what happened about this headlock? Because we're all
David Unsworth, get off me. I don't want another headlock. I told you, we're no more sex tonight, David.
So, was this in fact was it Unsworth that put you in the headlock?
Oh, at the game, yes, of course, it was David. You know, he's had a crush on me for a while. He said, "Come here, love. Get in my headlock."
So why did you blame the fans?
Because they're a fucking disgrace. Our fans are terrible. You've been trying to get me out for ages, and I've taken this club from 6 in the league to 19. What do they expect?
Well, maybe like from 6th to 1st.
Right, David's getting aggressive now. I'm going to have to go.
Okay, so she didn't want to answer that, did she? Who are we getting on next?
Anyone you want, I'll go and speak to them.
What is Kevin Farwell there?
I don't know how Kevin Farwell fouled, I'll be honest with you. I'm not
Have you got Sharp on? Why have you got Harry's mirror?
Well, you know, you sacked my nephew, you know, which if we absolute top player, top brilliant, you know.
Dan, what Chinese we got? Because this is just getting stupid.
Right, I'm off.
Got chicken balls,
Nice.
chicken curry, noodles, rice, the whole shebang. And it's bang on. Look at the curry on that. Oh,
Friday night, isn't it? Payday, gotta be done.
that's the reason.
Nice one, son.
Up the fucking toffees. Up the Chinese toffees.
Right, so what else are we going to talk about?
I've ordered some Scotch eggs as well to eat after I've had the Chinese.
Should
I
we
feel
go
sorry
back?
for you, missus.
Sean Dyche Scotch eggs.
Do you want the tactics back?
Yeah, go on.
I'm just blown away by that.
No.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, this is what we have. I mean, from listening to I'm listening to Dyche on his tactical masterclass. He says that he likes to play 2 lines of 4, and they're very narrow on one side. And he leaves a huge amount of space on either side for you to ping the ball into, and he takes his chances, he says. But 90% of the time that, a team like Everton up against Burnley would never have somebody to switch the play into that quick enough that they couldn't get into shape. This is how this could be done with our existing setup. I mean, it doesn't inspire you, does it?
Well, Dan said we're getting 4 players
No.
in, so
It makes a big difference.
I'm going with Dan.
It make a big difference. I mean, there's an argument to say he's more likely to play 4-4-2, but he did play a 4-4-1-1 for about a season at Burnley, his best season at Burnley. So he has played it in the past. And we've got Alex Iwobi, so it's a question. And I saw somebody comment early in the video saying, "What will we do about our midfield 3?" Because he probably won't play midfield 3. So it means
I think Iwobi will go back right wing. In that Townsend position, you'll have Iwobi right wing, and you'll have instead of Garner Gay, I think he'll drop Garner Gay if he's playing shit. He won't be scared to do that. That's the good part about this manager. He'll drop him, and he'll probably put James Garner in that position with Onana. And put Iwobi right wing, McNeil, James Garner in there with Onana. That'll be because James Garner's a lot better on the ball than Garner Gay at the minute.
Yeah,
he'll sort that out, and then you'll probably get Mopey or Sims and up top with Calvert-Lewin, and that's without even the players that come in. Now we're going to sign a striker. Say you sign that Coventry striker, big lad up top with Calvert-Lewin. That's a threat straight away. You start putting long balls up to them too. We're going to have a bit of business there. And like I say, McNeil can put crosses, and hopefully Sean Dyche gets him back to that because he's been shit so far. So hopefully Sean Dyche gets him back to what he needs to be. If Townsend does come in and you swap him for Iwobi, Townsend can put crosses in, so that's another option there.
Yeah, that's why
we have got players, Basil. We have got players. Me and you have said, Basil, on these analysis things all the time. These players are better than what they're showing, and hopefully that can happen. Yeah, 100%.
I don't think Damari Gray will feature that highly with the Sean Dyche side. And he likes his wingers to be really disciplined. They have to work really hard and they have to track back and be on the edge of the box. And I just don't see Damari Gray offering that. And I wouldn't have seen Gordon really doing it either. So I think Townsend and McNeil he would rely on to do that job. It's just what we'll have going forward when you play such a sort of, structured system.
Just to answer the Newcastle fan who's coming to ask our thoughts, without being horrible, our genuine, honest thoughts, without any bitterness or whatever. He's been absolutely crap for us, and 40 million quid cash down on the table with an extra bit of possible fab thrown in.
We've had your pants down on that.
Outstanding business for us. He could turn into a good player.
I was just going to say,
if he could actually. Hang on, what I'm going to say is he could turn into a good player in a decent side coach and whatever, but he needs to get out of his own way because his ego is far bigger than his talent.
He's a shit Ross Barkley.
What we would say on that subject is he thinks he's a lot better than he is. Yeah.
Oh, swallow that curry.
He's a lot better than it is to give him a good slap. Tell him to get his head on and stop wearing Paddington Bear trousers because he looks.
Let's be honest. He's a shit Ross Barkley.
He will.
The thing is,
play better in that Newcastle.
He will play better in that team.
Eddie Howe wants him. He wants him in, and he wants to mold him as a character and as a player. So I think they will see a better Gordon than we've seen the last 6 months, and he'll be more motivated. He does have pace. He needs to work on his finishing. He needs to work on his crossing, and he's just overall fitness. As well. He can't last the game out. Really, he lasts 70 minutes.
And he's an arrogant prick.
And he's just a bit too.
Yeah, so it could end up being. It's a good deal for us. It's a good deal for us right now, and it could turn into a deal. It could turn into a good deal for them. But also, you're the richest club in the world right now, and
I can see him doing that as well.
It's risky. It's less of a risk for you to carry him in your squad than us. Sorry?
I honestly think he's
Oh, he's
bigger than
frozen.
Vera Rodwell. He's arrogant, big time Charlie. He thinks he's bigger than what he is. And
Yeah,
40 million.
but they can afford to
deal.
take that chance because they've
Yeah, of
got
course
loads of
they can.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
I think they know he's not one for right now. Even I think they have time to bide on Gordon. They've got St. Maximum. They've got Almiron's playing really well. They've got players. They don't need to rely on him like we've relied on him so much, and it's not helped his development recently.
I've just been downstairs to get my Chinese, and my partner told me she's ordered me the green Everton top.
Nice.
Apparently, it's on sale, 20 quid, the long sleeve green one. So you'll see me in the lime green Everton top. Even though Everton is shit, I'm quite excited about it. But I think we'll be good now, so it's a good time to get a new top because we've been shit. I feel like all my tops are unlucky because we've lost in all of them. So a new top could be the lucky one for the bounce, for this lucky bounce that we're going to get.
Be our survival.
Well, just Basil, give me a game and I'll tell you what'll happen. Give me a game now. Go on. First game that we're playing is at Arsenal.
Arsenal.
We beat them 1-0. Go on, next game.
At home.
Yeah, we'll beat Arsenal. Arsenal do a loss, big time. Arsenal will win tonight against Man City and be absolutely on a super high. They're all too cocky and they'll play us and we'll just beat them 1-0. Go on, Basil, who's next?
Shite away.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll beat them because they're shit. You're right. You said it. They're shite, so we'll beat them. Do you know what?
Are you just going to basically? Dan, are you going to go for 18 wins on the bounce?
No. But Park End, I do feel like I've watched the shite and they ain't playing that well. They'll admit that themselves. They're not playing that well. So I'd say imagine that we beat Arsenal on this amazing run. So we get a massive bounce like we beat one of the best teams in the league that's top. Then we're buzzing for the Derby game. We win on the Derby game. We ain't beat the Red Shite that much, do we? We don't normally do that. So, and then we're buzzing. Then the bounce is on. And then we're going. Who's after the Red Shite?
Leeds at home.
Well, after winning those two games, Leeds is going to be in the bag, isn't it? I do think Leeds are quite good, though. I do think Leeds are quite good. I think Leeds have spent pretty well. But one thing I will say, though, is Leeds sold Kevin Phillips for like 45 million and they sold Rafinha and they went and brought loads of players. So I'm hoping that we do the same, Mabsy. I know we ain't got much time to do it, but I'm hoping we do the same.
3 days to go. 3 days to go.
We've just won 3 games. We've got 9 points there, Mabsy. You're buzzing.
Villa at home.
Villa at home. You're too clever on this. Villa's a hard game. We're going to draw that.
Right, okay. Down Forest away.
No problems, mate.
Forest are really good, but I think we can beat Forest. We'll beat Forest.
Okay.
So what we're on 9 points, 10 points, 13 points already.
Okay.
We're already miles out the relegation zone. Should we go for Europa League now?
Okay. Brentford at home.
Brentford at home.
Yeah.
We can beat them.
Yeah. Chelsea
That's what's that? 16 points we've just picked up so far on Sean Dyche's bounce. 16 points.
We're saved. 18 points we need to get. Chelsea.
Yes, Mabsy, we've done it. We've done it, Mabsy. We're staying up.
Happy days. Right.
Get top 4 next season if we could do that.
Chelsea away.
Oh, Chelsea will batter us. They've got Mudryk. I like him. He's amazing.
Right. Tottenham at home.
Tottenham ain't that good, are they? They're a draw.
Okay. Man United away.
I think we could. Man United wasn't that good in the cup, Mabsy. I think we could draw against them. They are playing a lot better, but I think we could draw against them under Dyche. Dyche, he's up for United, big time.
Okay.
Scotch egg.
Then Fulham at home.
Fulham at home, we can beat them. They're decent, but we can beat them.
Okay. We've got Arsenal away to put into the mix. That's not been scheduled, so I'll just put it up there.
Arsenal will draw that time.
Okay. Crystal Palace away. Never really win.
Crystal Palace will be when we play Crystal Palace. They'll be going down. So at that point, I like Crystal Palace, by the way, but I think they might be in trouble with us. So we'll be out of the zone and they'll be in it, and we'll beat Crystal Palace because they're in trouble, and the fans will be like, "Oh shit!"
And then Gordon returns. Everton versus Newcastle.
Gordon scores a hat-trick and we lose that one.
Wow.
I think Gordon will do well at Newcastle. I think he's a knobhead. but I think he'll do well at Newcastle. I really do, because Newcastle can play football, we can't. And I think if Gordon gets the ball in good positions, he'll be good. But,
Okay,
but
so-
we're up. Who cares what Gordon does, Mabsy? We're up. We've stayed up and we smashed it.
Okay,
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that, Mabsy. I'm going now. I'm happy. I'm going to finish my Chinese. I'm buzzing.
Leicester away.
Leicester away. Draw that time.
Okay, Brighton away.
I hate Leicester away. Brighton away. They can pass the ball good.
McKennie is a good sign.
We beat Brighton. Mabsy.
Okay. And then finally, Man City at home.
Last game of the season. It's on my birthday. I'm going to that one. We beat Man City to finish the season off, and we all do a pitch invasion to get. We do a pitch invasion to get Bill Kenwright and Mashiri gone.
God. So, right. Okay. So you're predicting out of 18 games.
You didn't remember that, did you? Did you remember that?
Yeah. 2 losses.
Oh, bloody hell.
Basically, that's what you think.
I've done draws and losses.
It's the positivity himself. Wow.
He's back.
He's back on a big scale.
Because I'm happy to got my Chinese.
Dan prediction pre-season with Yandel. Do you remember your pre-season predictions, Dan? You were predicting Everton to win most of the game.
Yeah, but do you know what? Before I said we'll finish 5th or 6th, that was before we signed Mopé and McNeil. And do you know what, though? Honestly, I didn't realise Lampard was that bad. Rice went out of my mouth there.
So realistically, where do you think we'll finish in the league?
I think we'll finish, I'd say we'll finish about, if we can get this balance, I'd say we'll finish about 12th, Mavsy.
Okay. I think we go down the first 7 as we finish 18.
I'd say 12th if we can get the balance. Do you know what, though? When I said all those games,
I'd literally...
I'm not joking.
I'd literally take 17.
That's the scary part.
I'd literally take 17 right now.
Oh, my days, Danielson. I wasn't joking. No, but that's the thing, though, honestly, with Dyche, I feel like he's gonna put up a fight, you know. He wants this. And he doesn't like that when he got sacked Burnley, everyone said he got Burnley relegated when he didn't, because Burnley took a lot of players away. And that's why Burnley was shit first half of the season. And you've got to remember that Burnley team, Dyche was doing well just to even freaking keep them up. There was always going to get relegated eventually. It wasn't the best team. You can ask the Burnley fans that themselves. Yeah. Dyche was doing amazing just to keep them up.
That's exactly the real answer to the question is, if we get 17th this year, like, that's a miracle, because this team is dog shit. We don't score goals, we don't keep clean sheets, and we can't run very fast. So he's got 3 days to find some. Yeah, I'd be really happy. Like that would be. I think
Dyche needs a fucking statue somewhere.
Dyche Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. I'm going to call him Dyche Cold Steve Austin. What's a Dyche song though, Mabsy? I know you love your songs and you go to more games than me. What's a Dyche song?
I haven't got a clue.
We've got to get him a song. Anyone in the comments, if you've got a Sean Dyche song.
The ginger hair.
So, what can we call it?
That's a Moyes song, isn't it?
It's a Moyes song, but he's going to get a Dyche song.
Surely that doesn't really go, does it? Surely Dyche. It's not rare there, but we don't.
Look at this one. I just read this comment. Look at this comment here. Don't ask me what we're going to do when I have a Chinese, because I'm happy and I think we're just going to smash it. He's like, what's Dan got in his Chinese? He has lost the plot.
To be fair, Blue Nose Dublin, he's like this without Chinese food, to be fair. To be fair to him.
No, I can't wait for this Dyche bounce, mate.
This is just pretty standard, Dan. So.
Yeah.
We're all going to be buzzing when we beat Arsenal. I'm not even joking. We are going to be buzzing. I get why we're all frustrated though, but I just think we've got to give this manager a fresh start and get behind him, because
is it frustrating or realistic?
No, I think if you go on what we've been like under Lampard, then you can say we're going to go down. I'd say the same. I thought Lampard would take us down if you look at that. But do I think a new manager is going to come in and be better than Lampard? Yes. So I can't judge. I'm forgetting about what Lampard was and what that team was, and now I'm thinking that Dyche is going to come in and change it. And if he does, if he gets 2-3 players and he gets the players better, no, exactly, he'll be all right. But I think Dyche is a clever man. I don't think
worse
job than Lampard. Right, I've got to go because my battery's low. I come on with low battery, but yeah, we're staying up with what me and Mads have just discussed. We're staying up. Don't worry, everyone. So, if you can't order a Chinese tonight, go and order yourself a Chinese tomorrow, and it'll make you feel happy, and then you'll just be relaxed and in a good mood. So, get a Chinese down here or whatever food you like. Up the fucking toffees. Get me. I'm a toffee. Get me out of here. I'm going to finish this Chinese off.
Enjoy, Dan. Enjoy.
Thank you, Mabsy. Nice speaking to you. Free.
Enjoy, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, we've suddenly gone very big. Do you think, Mabsy, there's anything in the because Sean Dyche, he said that Everton had forgotten how to win last season at the end of the season. Do you think he's going to come in and say anything about that?
I don't think he was wrong in what he said. To be honest with you, I think we've forgotten our identity, and we still don't have it. And I don't think that's due to Frank. Yeah. I just think we under this Mashiri regime, I do think it all stems from up top now. I was last year. I was very sceptical about the 27 campaign. I mean, I still am sceptical about the 27 campaign, and I'm glad they've rebranded and you know what I mean, tried to move away from that. Because I think it got very toxic at the beginning, very fast, and that's why it didn't work. But I think there's a willingness. I think everyone's starting to wake up, and I think to Mashiri's bullshit, and this is why I'm so cynical now. This is exactly why I'm so cynical, because
he's meddling.
I'm tired and jaded. I want us to win. I'm not asking to win a cup, what I mean? Or I just want us to see us win, not win a game. Not set the world alight. Do what we should be doing. Staying in the league. This is Everton we're talking about. We shouldn't be talking. I know it sounds arrogant. This is an arrogant thing. Well, this is Everton we're talking about. No, I don't say all the clubs, but this is Everton. And this, we shouldn't be discussing the season. That's a season.
Welcome, mate. Yeah. It's one of those where, like, am I optimistic? Like, no, I'm fully realistic. I've been saying for a considerable amount of time that this team is poor, and I've been really, pretty much sort of not resigned to relegation, but I wouldn't bet any money on us staying up. Do I think that, like, Sean Dyche improved our chances of staying up? Yes, absolutely, because it was a car crash under Frank. It really was a car crash. He's going to be more pragmatic. He's going to be more simple, and he's not going to confuse. Like, do you know, I remember watching Everton quite a few times, and the players didn't look like they knew what they were doing. They looked confused. They weren't sure what the hell they were supposed to be doing. And I think sometimes you can basically give people too much information, and they just don't know what to do. Like, am I supposed to be here, there, or whatever? If we go back to just a basic, like, sit deep, play the counter, whatever, But, like,
he says he gives simple instructions. He gives the strikers very basic roles. He tells them if they're playing one holding midfielder, one of you sticks on the holding midfielder. If they play two, you both cut the passing lanes. He just gives very simple instructions to his players who follow.
And if you've got a fullback who can't get forward, don't tell him to get forward. Tell him to be the one who stays back and let somebody else get forward. Yeah, tuck in and do your job, because if you don't have that, he's not going to tell people to go out and try and play like Chelsea, because we haven't got players who can play like Chelsea. And that's what Frank was constantly. You could tell that he wanted us to be something that we just aren't. We weren't capable of doing it, and even if we were capable of doing it, it's not Everton. It isn't Everton. That's not how Everton play. With the identity of Everton Football Club is not fannying about, passing it out of defence and like playing it through the lines, and it's nonsense taking 75 passes back into across midfield. It's what like so many people have been doing the last sort of few years, because Mashiri had a vision that he wants us to be Arsenal. We're not Arsenal. Everton are not Arsenal. We're an industrial team. Like, we scrap, we fight, we get the ball up quick. We're physical and we're aggressive, and people are scared to play us. That's Everton. And I think, like, the one thing about Dyche is he's not under any delusions that he's Pep Guardiola. He's not going to come in and try and pretend that he's a master tactician like Bielsa. He's not going to come in and faff about. He's just going to come in and do the basic job. So it does feel a little bit like we've gone back to the start when David Moyes first arrived, and like, he's just going to get results. He's going to get wins, and it won't be pretty for a while. And then if he stays long enough, and if we survive and all that happens, he's going to do like what David Moyes did, slow, incremental improvements, and get us back to being a solid team. And then once we've got to that position, then you can start having the debate again whether he's took us as far as he can, and then we can advance to the next level or whatever. But in the meantime, we are where we are because of our ridiculous owners and our clueless, the Emperor's New Clothes divvy who lives in Monaco. And we can't do nothing about that. So we just have to, like, accept the fact that this is where we are right now because of them idiots. But Dyche is probably the best bet to get us out.
Probably is. And I think one thing he will do is he'll put more emphasis on Everton's defending and attacking of set pieces, which is don't seem to have taken any usage of since the whole Lampard era. I mean, we've got arguably the tallest and most physical set of players in the league. We should be scoring off set pieces, and I think that will become his main sort of route. It'll be about getting crosses in the box, winning corners, getting good balls in. Don't waste these opportunities. Nicking points from it and getting those points to get us up the league.
No, it feels very much. Remember Roberto Martinez? Sort of, he never practiced defending from set pieces and stuff like that. It felt like that.
I think they did practice. From what I heard, they did practice, but didn't seem to ever show off, did it? Not like Davide Ancelotti's tactics, where we seem to actually be scoring off set pieces. There's no excuse when you're playing Mina or Cody or Tarkovsky or Nana and Calvert-Lewin. You've got like 5 aerial targets.
That's a great comment.
What the hell's
nice, thanks, mate.
Bucket?
He sits
because he used to sit on a bucket like
shit, yeah. Okay,
he's got back issues, and he couldn't stand up for very, very long because his back hurt. So he used to bring a bucket and sit on that to watch the games.
Yeah. Well,
I wanted to know if he was going to bring the interpreter with him. There was a guy.
What, Tyrone?
Tyrone,
yeah, but he speaks perfect English.
And then he does. He has a very particular way of doing
shield.
I think we've seen, especially with this Gordon. I mean, it's on the BBC now, so it's when it gets to the BBC, usually it goes through. That strikes the end for Gordon. It strikes the end of Bielsa for me as well, because I think if Bielsa was coming in, he would have straight away wanted Gordon there for the energy and the pace. There's no way. So I think we are going to get rid of Gordon. We are going to get Dyche. And
No. Oh, right.
No way.
Bloody hell.
Nice one.
You get worse.
No one.
What do you think about Hakim Ziyech for 25 million?
I don't know.
It reminds me of the kind of signings we used to do when we had Koeman or Callow. Like he's a guy who has never quite managed to be a productive player on a consistent level. He's on a ridiculous amount of money. He's touching 30, and like we'd be stuck with him. And he's on the downward slope. I just don't see the point. I don't see the point. If you're going to sign donkeys, just accept relegation and just start again with like a new whole squad. Because if you're literally going to pay players ridiculous wages, because he's on well over 200 grand, and I'm sure he's not going to get that at Everton. But if he's on loan, could he help? Maybe, but like. No, it's not the pill we should be paddling in. It really isn't. It's just people trying to get rid of their shite onto us because they want to cut down their wage bill. Yeah.
But that's all Everton can afford right now. That's all people are willing for them to have is dross from their own teams. Ryan's used to saying dross.
Ryan's right.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Burnley aren't exactly dross, are they? Look at them; they're acing the championship and they're playing Guardiola football with.
And I don't see why any of their good players would want to leave us, because on current trajectory they'll be replacing us next year in the Premier League. So yeah, I can understand. Like this was the thing about some of the other players, managers and stuff, and it's like. People were always going on about Thomas Frank. Oh, yeah, we should get Thomas Frank. And it's like, why the hell would he leave them to come here? Yeah. Like, why would he? His career's going really well. He's got a fat new contract. His team are in, like, playing good footy. And he's doing sound, and his reputation is just going up. Like, why would you, why would you join this shit show 3-ring circus? So... That's what I said.
If we signed
Dyche isn't like someone I would literally have drawn from a list, but no, he's signed a pre-contract at Villarreal.
No. If we'd signed, I know he has. I'm just trying to say, if we'd signed him when we had the fucking chance to sign him on a free, we won't be in this position now.
Yeah.
This is the
but then Frank wasn't keen. That was the point. Frank wasn't keen.
Well, it's an extra cheat. We should have got him because he was on a free. There was no risk. No fucking risk. And we've fucked it all up.
It's just the wages, isn't it? We don't know how dire the financial situation was.
Yeah, but Brenton Diaz, even if you got him to say, 50 grand, 60 grand a week, is no, because you're not paying you wouldn't have paid the fee.
No, we could have signed him. No, just to check. We could have signed him. Frank said no. Literally, Frank Lampard said no. We were offered him, and the deal was on the table, and the deal was agreed. And Frank Lampard wasn't sure on him and turned his nose up. That's a fact. He could have come to us, and Frank Lampard said no.
It would have been so different now. Would have been so different. We wouldn't be in a position to talk about this now. Well, we would be talking now, but we wouldn't be because we wouldn't be on because. We wouldn't be in a position because Frank wouldn't be sat. My opinion.
Yeah. But I think we both agree, me and you, Mabs. We should never have hired Lampard in the first place, and we shouldn't have ever hired fucking that Spanish waiter either.
It's difficult to say because at the time.
No, in advance, I was literally against him from the start.
I was
totally.
Then it was the
it was a
toss-up between him and Pereira.
We've not had many good options recently, have we? when we've had
No,
to
I
pick.
mean, or I don't.
No, and that's the whole point. Is
Say whoever comes in out of those four
Yeah.
options wouldn't be able to do a huge amount.
yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't be getting relegated.
I literally wanted Piera, but I only wanted Piera because he was going to bring a certain couple of players with him who would have made a huge difference. That's the only reason.
But couldn't you afford to have got them in?
Because he was going to.
It all comes down to
because
money
one
as
was
well.
17 million and the other. There was
Yeah, but
talk
didn't have
that it
any
could
money
be
to
done
buy
anyway.
because we ended
But
up having to scrape the Dele Alli signing and then getting what's his face, the Man United guy on loan.
no, I'm just saying that's why I wanted him, like because of the players he was going to bring with him, specifically two certain players.
But
Kim
we
and
couldn't
Jay.
afford them, surely.
And, well, yeah, I'm just saying, like at the
We
time,
couldn't have bought them in.
like
no, that's
there was
the
a choice
problem.
of two, and I want. Yeah, I'm just saying at the time. Yeah, you can say that. I didn't know that at the time. I literally just was given a choice of two people. I wanted one for a certain reason, and I didn't want the other for a certain reason. That's it, because I wanted this guy to bring in these certain players because they would have made a difference to us. Like, so that's all. But like, yeah, it's not me saying like I know the financial ins and outs of whatever. Like, I was wary of Lampard because he couldn't organise a defence to save his life, and he conceded loads of goals. And
Chelsea.
and I just didn't think it was a good move. I just thought.
But he did rectify that by trying to make us more defensively, prioritising defensive signings, and ultimately his downfall was that we couldn't score any goals. We weren't getting thrashed in most games. We were in most games. We were making mistakes, and we weren't being clinical.
Yeah.
I find it a little bit disappointing that we didn't get some strikers in, a winger, a striker in with the first week of Jan, and give him a couple of those easier fixtures to see if it makes an improvement. Instead, we waited and waited and waited, and then we had no choice. And then he panicked because he went to the West Ham game. He's not been to another game before. He saw how bad it was and then pulled the trigger. We lost the players. Now no one wants to come. There's 3 days left. We're getting Sean Dyche, and we're just praying that we stay up. Is that the sum of it?
Pretty much, exactly. I think we should look at wrapping it up. It's a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to watch what's left of the match now.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Nice to speak.
Yeah,
Right.
no doubt there'll be more stuff to happen
We
because
doing a transfer deadline? Are we doing a transfer deadline?
yeah,
We did last
I would
time?
think
We
so.
will.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
Right. Take
Nice
care. Have a
one.
good
Thanks
weekend.
everyone for
good.
joining.
Great weekend, guys.
Bye.
Enjoy your weekend as best you can.